When's the last time this car's been outside?
What's that?
When's the last time this has been out?
90, probably 98, 99. Maybe a little after, maybe 2000.
For sure.
This guy's strong.
Well, you know, parking or work that wasn't
Got little brakes.
That was me slamming.
Okay, got no brakes.
All right, guys, you asked for it. New project has joined Tulu's garage. A lot of Buicks. Buicks aren't everyone's flavor. I get it. You need to explore and experience different vehicles. This is new to us. It is a 73 Corvette, 1 year only. It is the first year of the C3 rubber front bumper, but it still has the iconic chrome bumpers and kind of flattened off rear end that is so famous for the 68 to 72 Corvettes. Say certainly not the most desirable of the C3 generation, but really cool looking car. Usually we buy junk. This is by no means junk. Like, this is a nice car. The gentleman we bought it from owned it since, I believe the title said 1998, so hasn't really been on the road. He thinks in about 20 years, he was estimating around 2000 it was parked, and it definitely hasn't been run since the early 2000s, so we're gonna estimate 15 years. His numbers matching 350, it's the base engine, I believe 190 horsepower, 250 foot-pounds of torque. It is mostly original. We're gonna assume one repaint. Original interior. It does have an aftermarket head unit in it with a cassette player, and it's got some aftermarket speakers back there. Otherwise, not many modifications. It does have an aftermarket set of wheels that look similar to the YJ8 optional aluminum wheels, but it's pretty stock, and it's really clean. I mean, there's no rust underneath it. Obviously, there's no rust on the body being fiberglass. There is like 3 paint chips that I've found. It's cracked in the front a little bit here. Pretty common for a Corvette. It's got a little chip right there. And then down here, it's got some cracking somewhere right in there. But this is all like mold or whatever. This will all come right off, you can see. Can't wait to clean it, but this is bought from Stouts Auto Sales, which was a famous Corvette dealer based out of Reading, Pennsylvania. They are one of the biggest Corvette dealers on the East Coast. I believe they just closed right during the pandemic. I'm not exactly sure, but it's something like they've sold 6,000 Corvettes since 1958. This car wasn't bought new there or anything, but it was through their dealership, and hopefully we'll be able to show you some specific things. I just found out that looks to be a little rotted there. You know, certainly the car is not perfect, but it's going to clean up. It's going to be a really nice survivor driver that you can just kind of get in and enjoy. Our plan is to get it running first, then we'll work to redo the brake system. Like I said, my dad will talk about some specifics. We have some paperwork from Stouts Auto Sales, which is pretty cool.
What we'll do is we'll get underneath and we'll get the fuel line. Did you have it out now, did you?
No, I don't, but
What's back in there?
it's paperwork. Come here.
Do you have paperwork?
He said he did. I found it the other day, but I didn't take it.
It's got the stop Chevy like you said.
Well, that's what I think that paperwork is.
They're from, I believe, the Reading area. That's where everybody used to go and get their Corvette years ago.
Make sure if his address is on any of that. We don't see it.
Fire guide. You had it back in the day? Engine trans. Systems covered. 30 days. You think the 30 days are over?
Yeah, I think so. What else we got? Looks like an owner's manual, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that was bought at a flea market or something.
What do you think?
Well, I don't think they came in those slips.
I shouldn't be touching it. It's
all right.
a little dirtier.
It's already a little.
Well, how about that?
It's one of those, I saw the pink slip, but what's that yellow paper?
There it is, the sales slip. What is this
What
voice?
do you pay for it?
3,710.
No. 8,900.
Oh, I didn't see that. Got you trading, I guess, right?
What was money for this car back then?
$5,500 trade-in. What was that?
Here. 1988 Ford.
Can't go wrong
Pickup.
with that. Oh, pickup.
I think before we left, Bruce mentioned he doesn't remember the car that he traded it for.
Really?
All right, so I never thought that jacking up a car would take so much research, but according to the internet, you should really take your time, especially with the C3 Corvette. C2 for that matter, I think is even a little bit more complicated from what I saw, but we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna take all the proper precautions. There is a number of ways to do this. You can jack it up, the transmission cross member is right about center of the car, so you can do one side at a time. I have the luxury of having two jacks. I'm gonna do the front first, that way, I guess if you do the rear first, you're not gonna be able to get a jack underneath the front if it's not low profile. Most importantly though, I'm gonna take the T-tops off. Even fiberglass or regular glass could crack, so we're just going to take them right out. It gives the car a chance to kind of air out anyway, although it really doesn't have a smell to it, just that old car smell. Bottle it up, it'll never go away. And then you're supposed to leave the doors popped open once before they're fully shut, and you're supposed to pop the hood. Just tried popping the hood before I started this video. It won't pop, so we'll have to figure that out too. But we're going to get started, I'm going to run back and forth. Maybe some time lapse, maybe some catastrophe. I don't know. Oh yeah, we're solid. Car's up now. I threw a second set of stands just as like an auxiliary. With stuff like this, it's supposed to be fun working on cars, or at least in theory. No reason to take any chances at all, so got them under there. As far as what we will be doing today, we're gonna get this thing ready to run. So you can see someone repainted the top end at some point. I wonder if it was stout, but the motor is free, although it is a little tough to move. You can see it goes back and forth. little bit each way. I'm gonna pop out all of the plugs, going to get the carburetor off, and just get it ready to rebuild. So Corvette Day 2. Yesterday I made a recap video, but I didn't like it. So just to get back to it, took the carb off, ordered a rebuild kit for it. It should be here Saturday. Today I'm going to disassemble the carb. Really doesn't need to be rebuilt, so if it's not the right rebuild kit, hopefully I have enough gaskets and stuff where I could just slam it back together. At least in theory, I don't think it needs to be rebuilt. Would like to put a new accelerator pump in it. Also took out all of the spark plugs, have new ones coming. As you can see, it was running pretty rich, but overall, nothing crazy to see. So outside of that, it's been soaking overnight with peanut butter blaster in the cylinders. Going to start cranking it by hand today just to free up the juices and get everything looses. And I also checked all the fluids. To recap, no coolant, no brake fluid, no power steering fluid, and the fuel pump's all gross and seepy, and so we have a new one for that. We'll replace all the rubber hoses throughout the fuel system. Trying to show you in here, not sure if this is gonna work. It's full, as they always are. I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see, but it is actually really clean. Hold on, let me get a light. Okay, not sure if you can see a little bit better down there. There's nothing in the bottom of the tank. It is just fuel. So I'm going to drain it out and see what happens. Clearly there was a mouse here at some point, so that's fun. Or a squirrel or something, I don't know. But I'm going to do a carb teardown. As some of you may remember from my GTO video, we like quadrajets. We do not like Hollies. This is a quadrajet, super easy to do. Probably won't do a step-by-step, but it's on the internet. You can look it up. Okay, talk to you soon. This is a carburetor. It should come right apart. What ones do you think are the primaries, and what ones do you think are the secondaries? What one?
Primary, secondary.
Secondary bigger.
Oh.
Primaries. This is how you get your fuel mileage. This is how you get the power, the vroom vroom.
I know you will.
We're gonna kiss on camera? No, just kidding. It's facing down. Totally keeping in the primary secondary thing. Thanks for playing. Sunday, September 5th, day before Labor Day. We are back on the Corvette. We have parts, although most of these aren't going to be used for a couple more days. 4 brand new calipers, new master cylinder, new plugs, rotor and condenser, well, points, brake hoses, brake pads. There is a carburetor rebuild kit right there. Electric fuel pump to get all the fuel out. Only thing we're missing is a new mechanical pump, but I have the carburetor disassembled. Got the base soaking because it really wasn't that gummed up to begin with, but pretty clean now. Just gonna do a once over with brake clean and reassemble that, get it reinstalled, and get the plugs back in it and get it ready to run tomorrow. So you'll see all that coming soon. All right, this carburetor kit I bought, part number 1517S off of Amazon. Typically I buy them from like Quadrajet Power. There's a bunch of different Quadrajet specific kits you could buy from reputable retailers. This one's not even close. I mean, I'm assuming it's from a later 80s Quadrajet or late 70s, early 80s. I don't know. but this is the original gasket that came out of it. It's actually in decent shape. I'm just going to clean it up and reassemble it and hope for the best, because this was otherwise a waste of time. Okay, so again, just to recap, doing this the completely wrong way, I am reusing literally everything I took out of the old carburetor. I mean, even including the accelerator pump, which actually seems to be in pretty good shape. But we do have other carb kits that I could probably just assemble something that would work. However, not going to do it. I got everything here. It seems like it's in good shape. So ultimately, when you guys see this car run tomorrow and it does not run appropriately because of the carburetor, you know what video to blame. I should also say that usually when we go to rebuild a carburetor, I let things soak for like a week. Each thing here is soaked for about a day. All the bolts and metering rods, etc., only soaked for a few hours. But on a time crunch, want to get this car running, want to move on to brakes, want to get the project going and not stalled. And also, hence why I went with the Amazon rebuild kit, because I knew it would be here in 2 days as opposed to waiting for the correct kit that would have taken over a week. So this is my impatience is why we are in this situation. Okay, I'm gonna try and safely remove all the fuel from this tank. I'm not gonna run it off the tank today anyway. We're just gonna use another gas can, but figured while covered in gas, might as well do it now. Trying to be as safe as possible. So that's 6 feet of hose into this electric clicky-clack fuel pump that has 2 spade connectors on it. So I can make safe connections to the negative and positive of this jumper pack. Ideally, there's gonna be no sparks. But if they are, I want them lower than where the fuel will be running, just in case. So that's 6 feet of hose. Then I got another, I don't know, probably 8 or so feet into the can that's way outside. So if anything does spark, remember, all it takes is a little spark. One fire extinguisher there, second one right there. Having been through a fuel fire before, it is certainly not fun and it's scary, and I don't want to burn down the car we just bought. Also move that car out just in case. So hopefully this goes smoothly. I'm not going to video it because I don't want to hold the camera, but maybe we'll set up the other one. I don't know. Some ugly, ugly gas. Empty. Hard to see, but it is pretty clean. There is some dirt down there and stuff, but we'll just run a second filter and hopefully it doesn't cause any issues. Sometimes you just need the right tool. Yeah, she's okay. We're good.
All right, you got the battery on, right, Lou? Connected up.
I don't have the key on.
The interstate. We put fuel in and stuff. Let's check for sparks. So let me take the cap off. Give me that light. Just so I can find the points in here. And this is probably the first time this cap's been off and who knows how long. The points are definitely there. What kind of points? Oh, these are all dual points. Oh, it's the condenser and the condenser is attached to the points, which I don't like. But let's see what we got.
Do you want the key on?
Okay, turn the key on. I can see where the points are, and then I'll shut the light off so we can see if there's any kind of sparking in there.
Yep.
Good to hear sound. Okay. Crank it over a little bit. We'll just see if it keeps sparking in there. It's not gonna do nothing as long as nothing's hitting the rotor. I don't see nothing.
I saw one before.
Yeah, I know, but let me just see something. Give me that light again.
I'm stepping on it. Hold on.
Okay, crank it and let me see if those points are opening and closing. Alright, they're moving a little bit. Let me see. Turn the key on again.
It's on.
I can hear it sparking. Maybe just clean it up a little bit. Oh, there we go. A nice spark now. All right. Crank it over. All right. Now we got. See that? A little, might have been a little spider web in there or something. Crank it over, cuz. Okay, we got
Big spark.
Wow. Oh. Good thing this fender isn't metal. Oh. Okay. Hook the fuel up. What do you got going on here?
It's behind you.
Behind it. The hose? Because you can run off a can, correct?
I'm not telling you where it is. I mean, you can't miss
The
it.
security? Where the heck did you have it? Look, you killed me. It's right here.
That's the hose.
Oh, where's the gas?
Serious?
Where?
Right there.
That can here?
Yeah, it's full.
I'll get it.
I mean, it took you long enough to find it. Might as well.
Does this top off?
No, just take the whole thing off.
Where's that fire extinguisher? I brought one. Just in case.
Ready?
Go ahead. Wow.
Oil pressure went up.
So quickly flapping.
Ready?
Go ahead.
Oil pressure went up.
So quickly flapping. Go ahead. How'd you cover your boat move? The float's stuck? Go ahead.
So it seemed all right. Crawling right over 35 pounds of oil pressure. The speedometer bounces. It's in park. It idles. Oh, we got a huge leak.
Oh,
What'd you think?
Well, sounded great. Smelled some oil. But it smells like it's coming out of the exhaust. I didn't really check on it because we had to hurry up and shut it off with this little fuel problem here. Well, you got the fuel line disconnected from the tank. Unless it got like an error.
Well, it's not connected from the tank. It's disconnected at the pump. So maybe there's a second.
So maybe
Fuel
because
pump,
this is an air conditioned car, so it might have.
I don't know. We'll have to research it.
recirculated through the. You didn't take the other line out.
Well, yeah, there is a return line still.
Yeah, so that's what happened. Well, it's good. You flush the lines out.
Onto my
You
floor.
down to it. That's what probably happened.
What do you remember? What do you remember about these cars? Common problems and stuff.
Well, first of all, they're hard getting in and out of. But the common problem was the wheel bearings in the back. You had some play in them, but you have to put some muscle into it. Oh yeah. I gotta check that. I gotta see if it's a bearing. Maybe one of the bushings. Let's see what the other side's like. Then they have the universal joints with the on the axle shafts. There we go. Not a problem. Oh, it's got some play in it too. And the other thing was the
Do
exhaust.
that again. Oh yeah.
The other thing that's a big problem was the exhaust. But
The car overall is super clean.
it's not bad. The frame is nice.
Absolutely no brakes. The engine had good oil pressure.
Oh, the brake calipers were a big time problem back in the day. In fact, you never found a tool yet for the wheel.
Yeah, that's issue for another video.
These are not the original wheels, right?
No, we don't have wheel locks.
You don't have the key for it.
What's your favorite tool? An air chisel?
Air chisel, and then our little trick with the, you don't have much room around it.
Yeah, I know, they're really...
And then the air chisel might slip and knock out the center. Wow, this is even further into the wheel. There's not much room to take that off, so hopefully the air chisel will work. If not, we'll get our other secret tool. The strip out socket's not gonna fit on there either. We'll get that secret tool. We'll try it out. We'll have to look through your tools. Maybe you have something in there. We'll get it out. The next thing we have to do now, we'll see where our gas is leaking. Put some more gas in the tank because you're draining it, correct?
Yeah.
And once you get it running, you gotta get it stopping. Then we gotta get the wheels out.
Yeah, there's no brake fluid in it at all. So
Now, sitting for how many years? We figured.
20.
So it's gotta go somewhere. But a car like this, you gotta redo the brake system, not even play games. Don't try to even do a parking lot drive. Won't sit that long with no fluid.
And then we know
So you got the rotors, everything over there, correct?
everything but rotors. We got 4 calipers, hoses,
calipers in it.
pads, and we know the radiator leaks.
Right. Other than that, those bearings in the back, that's not an issue right now to drive it. What about the tie rods? Did you find that feels solid? Well, even pulling the wheels off. Yeah, nice and solid. This car would probably drive nice.
I can't wait to clean it. We'll get it running and driving so we can clean it. And where will you see that next?
Well, how many steams you guys have to say? How do you have this set up?
I have 4 with 4 auxiliaries.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
I'm trying to do an outro here. Where will you see it all next?
Where do we see all of it next?
The work. Where will we see it next?
The work to do?
Yeah.
You're doing it.
Yeah, I know, but where will they be able to see it?
Right here.
On?
Oh, Tulu's Garage. I'm new at this stuff.
And a little sneak peek of what's to come.